There's no doubt that the sports card and collectible hobby in general has seen a tremendous boom over the last 3 years in terms of valuations. And I'm here to tell you right now that I think over the next 10 years, it's going to continue to rise at the rate that it has been. You look at a number of different innovators coming into the space in terms of technology, like companies like Alt, Rally Road, Collectible. People who are recognizing that sports cards are not just a hobby, but they're also an alternative asset. That is a huge term that you're going to continue to see and hear over the coming years as people continue to pile and put money into this space. As we've seen over the last 2 years since the onset of the COVID pandemic, there was a ton of new capital and liquidity that got pushed into the system, regardless if you were investing into equities, bonds, real estate, whatever it is. This also trickled into alternative assets like sports cards. As people are also starting to recognize that there could be volatility coming to the markets, I do believe that there is a correlation between investing into sports cards, trading cards, memorabilia, and the way that the market has been moving. Things like cryptocurrency also act pretty similar in nature in terms of where they're structured in a portfolio. I personally am very interested in personal finance, and that was one of the things that attracted me back into the hobby. Yes, I'm a lifelong baseball fan. Yes, I love to collect baseball cards because I'm truly passionate about it. But when I buy things like this, for example, this is a game ticket from Game 5 of the 1956 World Series, Don Larson's perfect game. I bought that because I know that in 5 to 10 years, I will probably be able to sell it for 3 to 4 times what I bought it for at least. I think that's a very interesting aspect to collecting and cards in general. I know a lot of people are kind of frustrated that they've seen prices rise in some of their favorite cards, but this is ultimately just this is ultimately a reason for what has already happened. So we're not going back to those prices, and they're going to continue to rise, especially within the vintage market. So I put a video up recently of me buying my Hank Aaron rookie card, which was a grail card for me. I'm building out the 1954 top set. Hank Aaron's rookie is the card from that set. And I spent almost $2,000 on that card, which is a ton of money for me. But I feel very confident that if I ever needed to sell it, I'm going to get more than $2,000 for it. So that's another aspect to the psychology of investing and collecting that I think is just going to continue to grow and change over time. There was a study from Verified Market Research that basically valued the entire global market of sports trading cards back in 2019 at $13.8 billion. They're expecting by 2027 to have that market reach nearly $100 billion. So we're talking about 23% year-on-year growth every year over the next decade to get to that number. So I do think that there's a ton of continued growth coming in the space. And if you're interested in sports cards for the investment, that's totally fine. If you're interested in it for the hobby, that's fine too. But there's a lot of reasons that people are here, and I think it's going to continue to grow.